Welcome back. In part 2 of our video blog on local news and social media, Fox 4's Megan Kelleher talks about some of the struggles that she faces with social media projects, as well as the little things you don't think about when it comes to SEO and news. Also, if you're interested in contacting Megan, she gives her information at the end of this video, and it's in this blog post. In this economy, we've fallen on hard times for broadcasting, specifically local television, and advertising revenues are down, which means paychecks are down for a lot of people in the broadcasting industry. Talk to me about the struggles that you face with social media, or the ability to start projects or complete projects. What do you look for in something that's affordable, and how do you measure its success when you're done?
Well, it's definitely a challenging time right now for everyone, especially in media. And I think the best thing about social media is that it's practically all free. I mean, it doesn't cost anyone anything for us to grab a reporter and say, hey, we want you to start tweeting. Almost everyone has a text plan, so it doesn't cost them anymore to send us those. It doesn't cost anymore to, if we want to use formerly Mogulus, if we want to set up a chat and a live stream to do that. That's the biggest benefit. And now we have a whole community. We have the whole metro that wants to send us in stuff, and that can do it for free. So if maybe it's a tight day where maybe we only have a set number of reporters and photographers and something's happening out there in Kansas City or Olathe or wherever, and people can send us in the photos that we might not be able to go get, that's incredibly helpful to have that as kind of a backup plan if we know we might not be able to get to it in time.
Are you able to share with me about how many page views you guys average on a day or any given month?
On an average day, I'd say we get about, oh, she's gone. I was going to be like Rebecca. We get about 100,000, give or take 20,000 in either direction. That's usually where we sit. We've had a lot of really good success with using CNN as a partner for linking stories, and they've been really great at sending us traffic, and through Twitter and Facebook and Dig and FARC. Like, our favorite thing to do now is come up with Dig and FARC headlines for some of the wilder stories that we have. And our 9 p.m. producer, Rob Zerwick, like, he's the go-to guy for coming up with funny slugs. So we know that we get a lot of really great traffic by sending stuff out where people are just going to put it in their Facebook status and put it in their tweets and just get it out there for everyone to see. Let everything go viral, basically.
So a critical component for you is coming up with the hook or the headline, because you only get so much space. That's a big deal.
Absolutely, and we've learned so much about SEO and about, okay, if we're going to do a story about something that's happening in Kansas City, let's use the words that people are going to be searching for. Let's use Kansas City in the headline. If the story is a car flies off a bridge and hits a cow, we're going to make sure we put those really important words in the headline that are going to attract people's attention. And it's not sensationalizing a story or, making something more than it is. It's drawing viewers in by really giving them the information that they want. People read on the internet now by scanning, so we want to make sure we're putting the words out there that are going to grab people's attention and get them the information that they want quickly.
Well, talk to me, if you had to name like your most successful project ever, what would it be? And then on top of that, name your biggest failure.
Gosh, I'd say that our biggest success it'd have to be the morning show Facebook group, because it was kind of a scary proposition to have a Facebook group and then not have any fans or friends on it, and then just kind of be like, why is no one our friend? And the response we've gotten to that, and how the morning show team has just taken it on as their own. You never have to go to them to update it or encourage them to post anything. They do it on their own. And another success we've had is our 60th anniversary page, which we totally took offsite and made it a WordPress blog so that people could comment on the old-timey clips we've posted. And people are commenting on there and they're saying, I've been watching you all 60 years ever since I was a little kid, and seeing these clips again is so great to see. And so that's really nice that people can comment on stuff like that. Biggest failure, I don't know if we've had a biggest failure. You know, there's definitely a lot of projects that, you know, that start and stop. Like, I was totally into using iMeme for I keep talking about the morning show, but I worked the morning shift today, so it's on my mind. We play songs in our bump backs, and so I made an iMe music player where it's like we would put the songs in the bump backs, and then people would suggest what songs they want to hear in the bump backs, and then in turn we would be like, oh, user so-and-so suggested that we play more Guster. Look, we're playing Guster. And maybe that's falling through the cracks in between, you know, redesigning a whole website, but that's the good thing about social media. You can always just start it up again and no one will be the wiser. So
I haven't heard the name Guster since high school. Way to bring that flashback back.
Maybe the bump backs tomorrow will be inspired by Whitney Matthews. Here's Guster.
I think so. I think it's a great idea. Then finally, talk to me a little bit about your audience. Local news and news in general does a ton of market research on their eyeballs and who's watching. What do you know about the people who are coming to your website on a regular basis?
Our audience is mostly, not mostly, it tends towards female. It's educated, employed, middle-aged. They expect immediate results and they love to be interactive. And it's a challenging demographic because so much of social media and what we are trying to do doesn't exactly tend towards the middle-aged female demographic necessarily. You know, I'm not necessarily thinking of like our moms, but you know, people that are maybe nervous about looking at Twitter, they don't understand what it is, or they don't get what this YouTube you talk about is. So, but there's also a really select group of people that are really into it and that love the idea of interacting, and it's a whole different way to get your news and to be a part of the news. So it's a challenge to be cutting edge, but also not scare people away. We're a news organization. We're a TV station as well as a website, obviously. And we want to get the news out there to the people that have been watching us for 60 years and maybe don't have a computer. And so we don't want to weigh down the newscast with Twitter, Facebook. You know, we have to strike a balance between getting the cutting edge stuff out there as well as really connecting with our audience and our demographic.
Well, and one final follow-up question I have for you, too. You mentioned that you took the 60th anniversary page off-site. And I know that almost all of the content that you push out leads back to fox4kc.com. Is that something that you try to stray away from just because it's harder to measure your success on an off-site page, something that's on a WordPress or TypePad or something like that, versus keeping everything on your platform?
It is. With the benefit of of the redesign was that we could put a lot of HTML in a framed page, more or less. We could take a lot of offsite stuff that we were doing before and put it back in our website, so that solved a lot of those problems. But we also like to have fun with it. During the Big 12 tournament, we had a single serving site where we just said, you know, has Big 12 tournament started yet? Yes or no? And then when it hadn't started yet, it was no. And then when the Chiefs were announcing a new coach, had the Chiefs announced a new coach yet? Yes or no? So we like to, you know, we'll take stuff off site. We can put our ad code in it, so we still can track. The beauty of WordPress is that we can put our code in it. So, and our new video system allows us to embed the video, so we still get those video hits. But we do try to stay inside, you know, the frames of fox4kc.com. It's our brand. It's where all the content goes back to. But the benefit of WordPress, like I said, is people could comment on it. The single serving site was fun. You know, we like to go out there and do goofy stuff sometimes. So,
well, tell everyone where they can reach you if they have any questions about local news and social media.
They can go to Twitter. I'm Megan, MEAGAN 383, or you can always email me at Fox4. It's meagan.kelleher at WDAF-TV4.com. And I'm sure if you didn't get all that, you can
I'll post it.
Email Whitney. She'll Google chat me or something.
All right. Well, thank you, Megan.
Thanks.